Happy New Year and welcome to 2025 and welcome to the channel Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. Today being the first day of not just the new year but of the new month as well, it means that it's that time again where we're going to be talking about the top 3 hottest stocks, and this time going into the month of January. And this should be a very eventful month for investors, as we have Donald J. Trump getting back into office on January 20th. And this event has sparked the markets over the last couple months to really be green and bullish. So we're finally here, less than a month away from the inauguration. And I just want to talk about the top stocks going into the inauguration and for all of January. And whether you're into politics or not, the changing of the president is a very iconic, historic event. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of stocks moving in the market and a lot of stocks just moving on the basis and the momentum of the president. And so without further ado, let's talk about those stocks. But as always, I want to say that this is not financial advice, and I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. So let's hop into it. And so the very first stock we're going to be talking about here is one that I have talked about many times on this channel, and that is going to be DJT Trump Media and Technology Group. Since October, I've been talking about this stock, telling investors to load up before the inauguration, because as we get closer to the inauguration, the fear of missing out and the fear, uncertainty, and doubt with this play is going to be absolutely nuts. And if you're a momentum investor, there's no better time to look at this stock than right now, as we have the inauguration less than a month away, and you could bet that a lot of investors are going to start filling their positions now in anticipation for the inauguration, either to sell right before the inauguration or after, kind of like with an earnings, whether you're either going to buy into the news or you're going to sell the news, or buy the news and sell the fact. There should be a lot of momentum and there should be a lot of volume these next couple weeks as we get closer to that date. And so if we zoom out and we look at this play on a 1-year time frame, we could see that we are at a pretty major support level right now. And the momentum really started to run up right before the election. We started to see some pretty crazy movements in DJT, and we were seeing a lot of gains going into the election, but then there was a lot of halting and manipulation. So this stock, even though it's sitting at only around $34 to $35, we could see a lot higher price for this stock. And so that's not to say that there won't be more halting and manipulation as we get closer to the inauguration, but this is why I'm encouraging investors to invest now. Get your positions while the price is still low at $35, because we could see, just looking at the history of this chart, and for anybody who has been involved with DJT, that the price movements and the fluctuations with this stock can be pretty crazy. And if you're not invested when these movements happen, they're going to be too quick for you to catch. And what's also really interesting, since the election, because of the halting and manipulation, the stock did get pushed down some, and since then we have been stuck in this channel. And so with DJT being stuck in a channel, I think all it's going to really take is for it to break this channel, and then we could really see some hyperbolic movements towards the upside. And when we do a little more technical analysis and we look at the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average for DJT, we could see that we are riding right at about the 200-day moving average, which again I am saying is the major support for this stock. But we could also see that we have been pushing up above the 50-day moving average. And so the last time we saw the moving day averages cross, it was when the 50-day moving average moved below the 200-day moving average, and then we did see some negative price momentum. This was before October, but since then we've seen the 50-day moving average start to move up, and then now that it is crossing back over the 200-day moving average, this could mean that we are really starting to push towards the upside. And since Trump won the election, he has made a lot of announcements on Truth Social, and a lot of those announcements have been who he's going to be putting around him in positions of power. And one of those people that he is putting into a position of power is going to be the new SEC chairman, Paul Atkins. And Paul Atkins is very pro-crypto, which leads me into my next play, which is a play that is very involved into cryptocurrency. And if you know anything about Bitcoin, you've probably heard this name alongside it, and that is Michael Saylor, and their company is Microstrategy. And so if you don't know what Microstrategy is, it is a tech company, but they have a massive strategic reserve in Bitcoin, and they continue to buy Bitcoin at every single chance that they have. And so a lot of people look at Microstrategy not even for the original company that they are, the original tech company, all of that, the software company, but instead as a massive play for Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor was really one of the first companies to ever really put Bitcoin on their balance sheet and really make it their hardcore motive. Which means that Michael Saylor may just be ahead of his time, because now a lot of other companies are following behind his footsteps and doing the exact same thing. So we could see from this article from just a couple days ago, Microstrategy won't stop buying Bitcoin, and it adds another $209 million in Bitcoin. And as Michael Saylor and Microstrategy continues to add Bitcoin to their balance sheet, this just makes the sense of urgency for other investors, retail investors, and also institutional investors, big companies, to want to do the same. Because we know with Bitcoin that there's a limited supply of Bitcoin, and there should only be 21 million Bitcoins in existence, and Michael Saylor is looking to eat them right up. And just like a typical Bitcoin fanatic, Michael Saylor is saying that he has no intentions to sell his Bitcoin anytime soon. And so if we zoom out and we look at MicroStrategy for the last year, we could see that they are actually not at all-time highs right now. But just a couple months ago, MicroStrategy was actually leading Bitcoin, and it had hit its all-time high before Bitcoin had reached $100,000. And then MicroStrategy was up near the $500 range as Bitcoin did hit that $100,000 mark. But then there was some selling off in MicroStrategy, and now we are currently sitting at under $300 for the stock, and that means that we are down about 40% from the all-time high for MicroStrategy. And so considering that the stock is down 40% from the all-time high, I consider this to be a great spot to buy MicroStrategy, especially because when we talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, these plays move significantly quicker than a lot of plays in the normal market. All crypto investors know this, because as soon as you start to see a rise in these crypto assets, it could absolutely melt faces with how crazy the price could change. Just like when we think about Bitcoin at 60,000, the rise to 100,000 was really, really quick. And so if you really know what's going on right now with Paul Atkins becoming the new SEC chairman, now is one of the best times to be bullish on Bitcoin. And another reason to be bullish on MicroStrategy is the gains for the last 5 years from MicroStrategy and the gains from Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has actually had more percentage increase in the stock than Bitcoin has had over the last couple years. So if you're in MicroStrategy, you could actively actually be beating Bitcoin just by some percentage points by owning MicroStrategy. But if you're not invested into cryptocurrency and you don't want to invest into MicroStrategy, I would also recommend the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. It's pretty affordable at just around $74. And trust me when I say you're not going to want to miss the rise to Bitcoin at 200,000. Especially with the new SEC chairman getting into office, there's going to be a lot more optimism when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and the whole market should become more free. As over the last couple years, Gary Gensler has been absolutely awful to cryptocurrencies, and the SEC has not been the most favorable for these plays. But now that we're going to have a switch, a lot of that could be changing over the course of the next 4 years. Which brings me into my last play, and when we talk about changes in society, this company right here has made some of the most innovations over the last 10 years, and that is Tesla. Of course, Tesla is mainly known for their EV vehicles, but they do so much more than that, and I don't look at them just as an EV car company, but more as an AI tech company. And so everybody's always looking at what's the best AI stocks to invest into. And I hear a lot of different names, but I don't typically hear Tesla, which I think is an injustice to everything that Tesla really has to offer. With their newest innovation being the Tesla robot, which is set to release in 2026. When these robots get released into the public, people are going to be going crazy for the robots and also for the stock. And remember, when it comes to Tesla, they aren't just doing one innovation and keeping it as at that. They could have done that many years ago with the EVs and stayed as just an EV company, but they're always progressing and always looking for ways to pop their company and change stuff around, and this is just another one of those ways. And let's also remember that Elon Musk is really great friends with Donald Trump, so he was very involved in the campaign trail this last year and in helping to get Donald J. Trump elected. Trump has also made him a head of the Department of Government Efficiency, which isn't actually a branch of the government, but it is going to be there to make suggestions for the government. And so with Elon Musk being so involved with politics, this could really help Tesla pop, especially over the last years. We have seen a lot of hate from the Democrats when it comes to Tesla. So now on the political sphere, actually having the President of the United States as a fan of him is going to change a lot. And if there's any red tape or restrictions that Elon Musk may have been facing before Trump, having Trump in office can definitely help cut those red tapes or keep any restrictions that were going to happen away from Elon Musk. With another reason to be bullish on Tesla and the AI behind Tesla, when it comes to a lot of these AI companies, because of how much innovation it takes, a lot of money is also spent on those innovations, and so a lot of these AI companies actually have negative balance sheets or aren't really making money quarterly or yearly. The opposite is to be said for Tesla. Tesla has their whole business model selling EV cars. They're pretty good at that, and they are also the top EV car company in the market. So when people think of EV, they typically think of Tesla, and also Tesla is just one of the best when it comes to that. And so with Tesla having a positive earnings per share and a positive net income, everything looks like it's on the up and up for Tesla. Thank you guys for watching my video today. These are my top 3 stocks for the month of January. A lot of this is based on the inauguration coming up and the switching of the President of the United States. There's a lot of other plays in the market that should also be popping. I have a lot of faith in just overall AI plays in general. So if you're new to the channel, check out a lot of my older videos I've made. I've talked all about AI, a lot about DJT, and some other plays as well. But I would be curious to hear what everyone has to say about these plays, or if there's any other plays that you personally have for your top 3 stocks in the month of January. So please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and have a great day.